Good morning. Today is the 14th day of April 2022, a very windy and rainy day, Maundy Thursday of Holy Week. I'm Linda Morey with this morning's devotion for South Harbor Creek United Methodist Church. Many of us are planning for a meal of celebration shared with friends and family this coming Sunday, Easter. We look forward to this time together to share food, stories, and just a relaxing time to enjoy each other's company. I can imagine as the disciples and Jesus met in the upper room to celebrate Passover, they might have felt much the same way, eager anticipation to spend time with each other and to sit down to enjoy a meal together. Maundy Thursday, as we know it, is the 5th day of the Holy Week leading up to Easter, which remembers the Last Supper with Jesus and his disciples. We call this event the Last Supper, because it is one of Jesus' final meals with his disciples before he was crucified. They had gathered for Passover supper, which set an important context for what Jesus did at the Last Supper. The word MAUNDY comes from the Latin word mandatum for commandment, which comes from Jesus' words for the Last Supper, "I give you a new commandment, that you love one another." The full Latin phrase is mandatum novarum, which means a new commandment. According to Robert Weber, The Services of the Christian Year, these words were translated into the French word mandy. This in turn was anglicized into Maundy. The Passover meal remembers when God liberated his people from captivity after striking Egypt with the 10th and final plague. For the 10th plague, God told Moses that every firstborn son would die unless their families had marked their door frames with the blood of the lamb without blemish, from Exodus 12:5. Moses directs the Jews to kill a lamb and mark their doors with blood. As promised, God passes over the homes that were marked with blood and spares the firstborn sons of his people. After suffering this final plague, Pharaoh releases the Israelites from their captivity as slaves. At this Last Supper in the upper room, the disciples might have enjoyed a bean stew, lamb, olives, bitter herbs, a fish sauce, unleavened bread, dates, and wine. These would be things that were on the menu at the Last Supper, says recent research into Palestinian cuisine during that time. The website gomino.com says that most churches celebrate Maundy Thursday by taking communion and also remembering Christ's commandment to his disciples. During the Last Supper, Jesus performs the humbling act of washing the feet of his disciples. Jesus uses this act to demonstrate how he wants his disciples to serve and love others. If then your Lord and teacher has washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet, from John 13:14. This mandate extends to all believers. Christians remember this command on Maundy Thursday, with some churches actually practicing the washing of feet. So do we have to wash the feet of others? No. This was a custom of the day, but is a service we no longer really need. Many Christians like to show their humility and love in other ways that do not require the literal washing of feet. Other ways you can symbolically care for and be of service to others might include engaging in a random act of kindness, leaving or sending flowers on a friend's doorstep, calling someone just to check in on how they're doing, sharing words of love and appreciation, making amends for something you have done that may have been hurtful. Stand up for those who are unable to do so for themselves. Be supportive of someone, even if you disagree with them. Lend a listening ear to someone going through rough times. Bring a new person to your church. Use your God-given gifts in new and different ways. The main purpose of foot washing is caring for others, cleansing us in a sin-cursed world, and to emulate Jesus in everything we do. As long as there are genuine emotions behind any act of kindness, The service to others will bring feelings of humility and empathy. It is a beneficial act for both parties. Living and acting as Jesus did will not only make your spirit full, but also help you to be grateful. As we continue to prepare for Easter Sunday, Maundy Thursday is a great time to focus on what it means that Christ is our Passover lamb. I don't really believe that the disciples knew that this meal would be one of the last that they had with Jesus. Today we can reflect about how Jesus, as the blameless lamb, was sacrificed for us. This powerful image is simple yet profound. We are reminded that just as Christ proceeded humbly into Jerusalem on a donkey, as we celebrated last Sunday at our Palm Sunday service, he will humbly go to the cross on Good Friday. What does this tell us about the kind of king he is? He does not conquer with violence, but with love. And so we are called to further his kingdom in the same way, by loving one another as Christ first loved us. As we come together with family and friends this Easter to celebrate a meal, we can reflect on the great sacrifice and gift of love and life that Jesus gave to each one of us as we celebrate the risen Savior. A reminder that tonight's Maundy Thursday service with a dramatization and communion is at 6:30. And Easter early service is at 8 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. There will be donuts, muffins, fruits, and coffee at 9 o'clock. And then the Easter celebration service, which will be streamed and in person at 10 o'clock on Sunday. I hope that you have a glorious day.